Hey guys, Matthew, and welcome to the second episode of me farming an hour of certain content and tell you how much money I made. So last episode I did Quarry, 1 hour farming, and this time I actually did Coves. Now, why Coves as a T1 map? It's basically because the layout is very easy to go around. The boss basically is a one-shot. He doesn't have any phases, unlike something like a Jungle Valley or like a Pen, where the league mechanic is in a very small area, which would suck. Arcade is definitely another option that would be okay, especially because of the div cards in there. But the reason why I didn't like Arcade is because there's a lot of pieces of layout that could actually make it so you wouldn't be able to fully clear the league mechanic properly. Coves, really good layout for the league mechanic, for the one-shot boss, and also you have the Witch You Seek for 10% daily spawning, which at the speed that we're going is actually fairly often, and of course Great Migration and Big Game is also pretty decent whenever this does spawn. But in my 1 hour, this didn't even spawn once. That being said, in terms of deliriums, I probably got something like 4 or 5 maps with deliriums, so pretty good there. Okay, so otherwise, I basically just went out and go, something like this. No quality, no nothing, no valor, just out and go on the maps, trying to get a little bit of quality, of course, a little bit of quantity, a little bit of pack size, but really nothing special. Okay, so let's have a look at the results. I made a grand total of 804 chaos in 1 hour. Now, I got extremely lucky. I dropped a primordial chain, which is something that you would not expect to drop very often. This did not even come from the league mechanic either. It just literally just dropped on the ground. I also, from the league mechanic, got 2 alluring bounty cards, which are 1.4 Exile each. So these guys put together, amount to over 600 chaos. So if we remove all of that, the actual currency that I made is around 189 chaos, which most of it is just basically currency, right? Funnily enough, I made less chaos, less pure chaos than I did in Quarry, probably due to the fact that I farmed less league mechanics and more, regular monsters. I dropped a couple of the primordial div cards. They're not super rare, but they're not super common either. And the rest of it was mostly currency. Now, there's one thing that's not accounted in here, though, and that is this Blighted map here. I'm not sure why, but it's not in there, and that's worth about 20 chaos or so. There's other things also that were not really accounted when I looked in the excellence, which I thought was a little bit weird. So the reality is that we're missing about 35 chaos here. So in reality, if I remove the lucky drops, I made 224 chaos per hour, but I would consider this maybe a little bit over average in terms of RNG, and I would say that most of my money came from the league mechanic, not from farming anything else. So if I was to do this again, I would probably just ignore everything in the map and just do the league mechanic itself. Now, why is the league mechanic better in maps than, for example, in Quarry? The reason is simple. It's just due to pack size, obviously quantity and all that. But the major difference is normally due to item level, right? There are certain uniques, there are certain drops, there are certain things that you can simply not drop in the game, right? You will actually need to get them in maps. They don't drop before maps. So that's typically why I would say T1 maps is probably better than Quarry. But in terms of actual pure currency per hour, for consistency, I think that Quarry is actually probably still better than T1 maps. So that's pretty much all I have. Now the next test is going to be a T6, so we're going to be jumping over to yellow, doing the exact same thing, but I think we're going to head over to Lyra Arthane and try to take advantage of the Breach stuff as well as the Blight stuff, or something like that. I'm not exactly sure yet, but that'll be the next video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. That'll be it for me. Before I go, though, I want to say a huge thank you to my supporters: Flame Scorpion, Richard, Willie, Alex, Jordan, Emil, Raymond, Tim, Scott, Lost with the Map, Grimoire, Nathaniel, Kremis, Justin, Kevin, the other Justin, So Nice, Axel, Mercury, and Bizen, as well as, of course, anybody else who has supported me in the past, anybody else who wishes to remain anonymous, and a special thank you to anybody listed here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.